I don't know that I can tell you how hot it is out here. As much as I gave Evan a hard time for not coming out here this morning, I certainly understand it. When I designed this pig pen to my left, where we train our pigs to the electric fence, I made a crucial design flaw, and today I'm hoping to begin the process of fixing it while also setting up some other stuff. Let's take a look at what the goal is. One of the things that's so critical for pig pens is having a lot of carbonaceous materials to absorb the urine and the manure from the pigs. When I designed this pig pen, I first cleared the lot off with the backhoe, and you can tell that I pushed a lot of the trees off to the side. I thought that I'd be able to get around the edge of it because after all, there's probably 20 feet right there. This past winter when I came in to dump some hay in here, I got my tractor stuck in the process right here and it was a mess. I want this big tree to help shade the pen. I can't get around it quite enough to actually dump materials on the back of it. It's just real tight, especially as thick as these woods are. Now at some point I hope to cut up this material and clean it up. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So I want to get this material out of the way so that I can get the tractor in here and move it around more easily. The other thing that I want to do is thin out a lot of these thinner trees that need to be moved anyway, in part to allow the larger nut-bearing trees to be much more productive. But the other thing that I want to do is cut a fence line through here. The reason for that is right now our current fence is on this northern half of field B, and it's right here in the edge of the woods. So if we have any livestock out here grazing the cover crop fields, they do not have any shade most of the day. So what I want to do is move this fence right here into the edge of the woods so that the pigs or cows, whatever I'm grazing in that paddock, will have access to some good shade. We should have Berkshire piglets born in about a month and a half, and then a couple months after that I'll be wanting to wean them in this pen. I'll be moving the pigs that are in this training pen out, but all that to say, if I can go on and get wood chips in there, that will help a lot. So I'm going to go on and get the tractor set up, bring it over here, and then start chipping and cutting some of these logs. Yesterday, Evan and I worked putting up gates and doing several other things around the farm. Evan actually is not a paid intern. He's not paid for anything. He just enjoys coming out to the farm and doing odd jobs, enjoys helping people. He's a really great friend, but yesterday we decided to leave about 1 or 2 o'clock, and we said we would start early this morning. And then early this morning I got a message from him saying, hey, I don't feel like coming out there today. And I think he was probably the smarter of the two of us. Evan's a really good friend, though. As much as I gave Evan a hard time for not coming out here this morning, I certainly understand it. I don't know that I can tell you how hot it is out here. It may only be 85 or 90 degrees at 9 or 10 o'clock right now, but after that rain last night, man, the humidity is so high, it's thick. So I've gotten about 10 or 15 trees down. Most of them are small enough that they can go directly into the chipper and I don't have to cut them up anymore. There are a couple oaks right up against the fence that I went on and that I cut down. They weren't going to offer any shade for 4 or 5 years. One of them was real doty. The center of it was about half rotten, and it was about that big around. And I can move around. There's still some chunks of wood about yay big. Some of them are dry that I did last year, and some of them are green that I've just now cut. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. I'll probably get those up and out of the way with a tractor at a later time. So the chainsaws that I have available for use that are mine are a Stihl MS 261, a 440, and a 660. The saw that I use 95% of the work is actually the 261. It's the professional class Stihl chainsaw. I run a 16-inch bar on it, and the 261 actually has one of the highest power versus weight ratios so it weighs less and has more power than just about any other Stihl chainsaw that I've ever used. I like a 16-inch bar, and if I could, I'd put a 14-inch bar on it. I use the 16-inch bar primarily because it's light. Most of the stuff that I'm cutting, as you can see here, are 3 to 6 or 8, maybe 10 inches occasionally. So it's very small stuff. It's a small saw that I can use and pick up and use off the ground. It's a really great chainsaw to use. I'm going to take another break and get some more water. As I do, let me show you what I've done so far. So in terms of entrance, I've got a small entrance right there that I can get in with a tractor. But the main entrance to this paddock is over there by those gates in that gap. Of course, it's blocked off with that pine tree. And there are a bunch of smaller trees here that need to be thinned. But what I've thinned so far is right in here. There were some down trees there. Of course, I can haul those off once I get this area over here opened up. But you can tell where I've cut these smaller trees here. Probably 24 of these smaller trees that are just taking resources from the larger ones. So now I've got access with the tractor right in here from that fence line, which is nice. Today I'm going to try to thin out all these little things right here that can go into the wood chipper, but I don't know if I've got the energy to do that today. We'll see, but I'm going to keep on going. If I can get these right here thinned out, then I can get in around with the tractor and the loader more easily to haul out some of these bigger things, and that'll make a huge difference. I'm not sure which of all these little trees out here. I know that little white oak there and that one with a Y I want to keep, because we don't have a lot of those type white oaks. Most of the white oak species out here are pin oaks and water oaks. And there are a handful of red oaks out here too. Just about every single sweet gum and black gum I want gone. I may keep 1 or 2 black gums if I don't have any good shade nearby. That black gum right there to the left will go. However, that oak there will stay. Long term, I don't think it's going to stay here, but I do want to keep some more shade. And I don't have a whole lot of larger oaks in this area right here that I want to keep. So we'll just have to see what happens. Now, I've talked about the chainsaw. Let me talk a moment about the wood chipper. I use a tractor-mounted wood chipper. It's a Woodmaxx MX 8800. It's the largest wood chipper that Woodmaxx makes for PTO-powered equipment, and I really love it. It has an automatic in-feed roller. Wood chipping, what I'm finding out, that it really requires just a world of a lot of time and energy. It's not worth the free wood chips. Actually, you are much better off purchasing 18-wheeler loads of wood chips than you are purchasing a wood chipper just for producing your own wood chips. The reason, however, that I like having the wood chipper around the farm is in instances like this. Yes, I'm using the wood chips, but if I were just to be clearing this area out, it would take me longer to clean up this area and then burn all the extra material. Here I can chip it up. It goes really fast. The wood chipper has an automatic in-feed roller system, so it actually pulls the material into it as long as it's not too wide for the throat. Some of the material is a little bit thick. People often ask me what size material can I chip with this setup. I'm using a 44 horsepower tractor. It's 40 horsepower at the PTO with this wood chipper. If I'm chipping something that's hard like privet hedge or oak or maple, about 4 inches is usually about what I can chip. That's the largest diameter. However, if it's something softer like sweet gum or pine limbs, as long as all of this is green, of course, then it'll get more. But it's really worth having the wood chipper that pulls the material into it. It just makes all the difference in the world. It's noon. I'm tuckered out. I've drunk 1.5 gallons of water, and I am tired and thirsty. Most importantly, I'm out of gas. I didn't quite finish what I'd hoped to this morning, but I'm going to show you what I got chipped with the wood chipper. and show you what it looks like leaving. And then I'm going to go feed pigs. So this pen is about 4,000 square feet, and it easily has a fourth of it that's deep in wood chips. Right here, closer to where the wood chipper was, there's a lot of green leaves that didn't get flung quite as far. And right here, I'm betting the chips are closer to 6 or 7 inches deep, and then further out, they're half an inch deep or so, where they're actually completely covering the ground. I got these woods thinned out some so that I can at least come in here with the tractor to haul off some of these larger logs and then level out the ground where I got stuck. There's this little patch of stuff that has a few larger sweet gums. I think I'm going to leave them up. There are a few smaller trees right here that I can get up, but they do offer a good shade barrier. But for now, I do have a decent amount of area cleaned out. This is my next area to thin out, but I've done a good bit today as it is. Y'all take care. It's way too hot to be working out here.